So today we are having poor man's onion cheeseburgers. I know you might not have heard it like that, but translation is a patty meal. I know you're going to enjoy the recipe. The family loves it. So stay tuned and you'll see it. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Let me grab it. Show it to you. Crispy, cheese, double patty, onions, delicious. Try it for yourself. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Alright, so for this recipe, we're going to need some butter, okay? Of course, we're going to need our beef patties. Going to need some onions. This is one small onion that's been cut in half and then sliced real thin. We need bread to make the sandwiches. Some mayo. You can use any mayo you want. And black pepper. And some salt. Now, in regards to the onions, you can use whatever onions you want. I'm using white onions. I just found that they taste better when they're caramelized. But you can use yellow sweet onions. You can use red onions if you like. You can even use shallots. It's completely up to you. And last but not least, don't forget about your cheese. The single sliced cheese. I mean, you could use any kind of cheese you want. But the single slice, American cheese is the easiest to put together. But you can use Gouda, mozzarella, provolone. Hey, sky's the limit. Do what you want to do. Monterey Jack, Kobe Jack, whatever kind of cheese you want is your sandwich. You put it together. Okay, so when you're putting these together, check it out. There's 3 parts, okay? There's 3 parts. You have your beef patty part, right? You got your onion part, and then you got the complete sandwich part. We're going to go through each of these. Now, I know I'm going to be adding some french fries as well, but you don't need a video on that. Just fry up some french fries, fry up some potatoes, and you're good to go. Now, if you need instructions on how to fry the french fries, just leave it in the comments, and I'll hook that up for you. All right. Okay, so now we're going to turn the fire on. Put on medium, and we're going to do the ground beef first, so the beef patties. And you want to make sure that your beef patties have come to room temperature. Don't put frozen patties in your pan. You're just going to be spinning your wheels if you do that, so don't do that. Take the time, plan ahead, and let it come to room temperature. Let it thaw out. If you're not using fresh ground beef patties, if you're using frozen stuff, let them come to room temperature. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil in the pan, right, just a little bit. When this heats up, we're going to put our patties on. Okay, so the pan's heated up. Let's add our beef patties. And you're going to cook them for a couple minutes per side. And then we're going to put them on the cooling rack, on the cookie sheet, to go in the oven. To keep them warm. Let's give these, like I said, a couple minutes per side. And I'll be back when it's time to flip. It's been 2 minutes. Let's flip these guys. Alright, 2 more minutes. Okay, now we want to season these. A little bit of salt. Right? A little bit of pepper. You gotta get it seasoned, okay? So then 2 minutes on that side. Get it on the pan, on the cooling rack. Now we got one more we're going to add. Just a single patty. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, let's turn this guy. Season them. A little salt. A little pepper. Alright. 2 minutes. Okay. Then 2 minutes on this side. Take it off. Turn the heat off. Now we're going to put this, we're going to put the meat, we're going to put these into a 300-degree oven. Alright, now it's time to do the onions. Just a little bit of olive oil. You're probably looking at maybe a tablespoon of olive oil. Alright, then they get heated through. And now we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Couple tablespoons of butter, let that get all melted, nice and happy. Now, the reason that I add olive oil with the butter is because the olive oil will actually raise the smoking point of the butter, so your butter won't burn, you see? I mean, granted, if you turn it up high enough, it will burn, but for this application, keep it on medium heat. Your butter won't burn because you have oil in it. Now, you can use vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, which I'm pretty fond of. You can use avocado oil, But the point is, you add oil to the butter, and the milk solids in the butter won't burn. And that's what you want. So now let's add the onions. It may seem like a lot of onions, but it's really not, because they're going to cook down, you see. Get these all nice and coated with the oil. Okay, now you're going to cook this on the medium heat for about 7 minutes, give or take, a minute or two. You want to brown them and caramelize them. So I'm going to stir these and saute these for a couple minutes, and then I'll give you an update. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes. Now we're going to season it. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Alright, about a ½ teaspoon of each. Stir this up. You can see the onions are starting to caramelize. They're starting to get a little brown. And that's what you want. A nice medium heat. Not too high, not too low. You want it to taste good. Alright, give it another few minutes. Another 3 or 4 minutes. So we still got a few minutes left. But I just want to throw a little tip in here. When you're sauteing your onions, you're not burning them up, you just caramelize them. As they get brown, they get sweeter, you see? So you don't need to get the sweet onions. A regular onion will actually, in my opinion, will become sweeter than a sweet onion when it's caramelized. And that's why people love them. Okay, this is done now. So now we're going to put this into a bowl and throw that in the oven with the meat. And we're going to start putting everything together. Right, let's put this in the pan, in the bowl. This goes in the bowl to be used here in a minute. And now at this point, we are not going to clean out the pan. Do not do it. All right, now we're going to add some mayo. For simplicity, I'm only going to show you one sandwich. Put mayo on it. Right? Mayo on the bread. Right? Now, we're going to toast the other end, the other side, as we build the sandwich. Okay, so we got our pan back on. We're going to put about a tablespoon of butter in it. Melt that butter. Okay, let's toast the bread. Add the bread in. Toast that outside of the bread. Get it nice and toasted. And this is going to be the plain one. And when I say plain, I mean plain. You understand that? And then we're going to move on to the coup de grace. So let's toast this a couple minutes. All right, for the simple one, just add the patty. And then just put the toasted bun on top. And that's it. That's all she wants. Now let me get this to her and we'll start with the next one. Okay, the second one, let's add the bread. Let's get that bread toasted on the outside. Give it a couple minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so at this point, we want to add some cheese. Add a little cheese here. And some onions. Some of the onions on the top. The onions are hot, so be careful. That's why I wear gloves. And then a piece of meat, another piece of cheese, another piece of meat, and then we put the top on it. Gorgeous. Look at that. Just gorgeous. At this point, you can turn the heat off and just let it sit so the cheese melts. Give it about a minute. Take this guy off, and then we'll do the last one. All right, let's get this last sandwich made. Okay, give that a couple minutes. All right, let's add some cheese, some onion. Yes, indeed. Meat patty. More cheese. Meat patty. Now let's flip this. There we go. Be careful, it's hot. Even with gloves, it's hot. So let's plate this bad boy up. All right, it is done. Patty melts. Fries. Got a mix of straight fries and curly fries. Oh, you know this is going to be delicious. If you like this recipe, definitely try it out. It's delicious. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. And let's get this moving. Shrashira, and I'm out.